I should be live. I should be live. I don't know if I'm live. I'm going to keep talking until things happen. This is a podcast episode 5. What is the friggin' date? It's Tuesday, December 14th, 2:30 p.m. No advertisement whatsoever for this podcast, which is why every time I do it, I have so many people viewing. It's incredible. Before I begin, I want to say I'm driving and I'm at a red light. This is why I hate the earth. How many people start podcasts like that? So I'm sitting at a red light, and next to me is a bus, a big bus. Next to the bus, so the bus is in the left lane. In the right lane is a Volvo, and I'm behind the Volvo because I'm thinking I want to get around this bus. And of course, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting and I'm thinking about the Volvo. I'm looking at the back of the car and I'm thinking, yeah, this is a dweeb in this car. I'm hating the person. I don't even know who they are yet. And I hate the bus, of course. And then the light turns green, and what do you think happens? Well, the bus out-accelerates the Volvo, of course. But just as I'm about to go into the left lane to get around the Volvo speeds up and stays directly across from the bus. So now both lanes are blocked. This is why human beings cannot have superpowers. I don't care if you are a great person. I don't care if you're Mother Teresa. People can't have superpowers because the world would end. Hold on, I'm going to eat a saltine because why not? I remember thinking that I want Volvos to explode. I want every Volvo on the planet to explode because this idiot will not go around a bus. But that's exactly why nobody should have superpowers. So I'm driving. I can't wait to get home because I want to do one of these solo podcast things again. And I'm thinking about things I want to talk about. And by the way, I'm eating walnuts now. The first thing I want to talk about. Well, hold on. Before I get to the first topic, I want to explore the whole I hate the earth thing. Now, I don't know what the hell happened, but I woke up and I can't see shit. I mean, I have good vision, but all of a sudden I'm like wearing friggin' reedies, like from you get, like those reedies that you would get from like a 7-Eleven, you know, those magnifier glasses and shit. I'm putting those on to like look at menus and stuff like that. What happened? I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, I want to talk about Halo. I'm playing Halo. I enjoy Halo. I like Halo from the past. I love Bungie. Not a big fan of 343. I thought Halo 4 was okay. But I was cautiously optimistic when it came to Halo Infinite. Now that it's out and I've played quite a bit of it, I'm close to the end where the game goes from being pretty much a open world game for the entirety of the game. All of a sudden it switches to this sort of classic Halo corridor-esque type shooter, which is kind of strange, but I think it looks really good. I'm enjoying the game, and I'm enjoying the story. I'm also enjoying these saltines while I do a podcast. By the way, saltines are not a great thing to eat when you want to speak because they have salt, and it's drying up my mouth. And then I got to suck down some iced tea. So, not great, but who cares? The biggest problem I had going into Halo, I don't have a problem now, I think it's great, but I was worried that they weren't going to take the story seriously. They were too concerned with multiplayer. These are all things in my head. I'm happy to report that it looks like they really care about the story and the lore. I would have loved, obviously, there have been more to explore and more to see, maybe a different biome or two. But I think that they've managed to do something really great. I'm not a big fan of the whole delivery service when it comes to, and I'm not a big physical gamer anymore, but I think if you're going to buy a disc, the information should be there. Clearly it's not when it comes to Halo. And when I start the campaign, it's like loading the map, hold on. It's kind of strange, but I'm really happy with what they did. I like the weapon. And I'm not going to give anything away about the weapon or what's going on, but I do like the weapon. I thought I would be upset without Cortana I'm not going to give anything away there either, but I like the weapon a lot. She has a name, by the way. And I also like the fact that they allow her to be female and look kind of feminine, which is cool. You can tell they kind of covered up a bit, but all right. But I do love the gameplay. I think it's great. I definitely think PlayStation has nothing like this. And this is where it gets to be like console war. I'm going to do that just to get hits and subs and stuff like that. So let's go with it. I think Sony definitely needs a shooter that has that sort of hook, that gameplay hook of 5 minutes of fun, repeated over and over and over again, because they've got multiplayer. Third parties take care of that. Whether or not you want to critique PlayStation for not having multiplayer. Xbox doesn't have great multiplayer games either. The greatest multiplayer games are third party. We know PlayStation has great single player games. They're fantastic. They need something like a shooter that has that sort of gameplay hook with a great story. They had great campaigns, great IPs in the past. I think Resistance would be good. Killzone if they did it right, but it's kind of like just a clone of World War II. The Hellgas of the Nazis and the other guys. I don't even remember their name. What was the name of the good guys? I don't know. That's how forgettable Killzone was, but they were sort of like, the U.S. in World War II. But they definitely need something like Halo, and maybe they will. I don't know, but I'm hoping that they do. But I'm liking the open world gameplay. I love it. I go on missions like I cheat. I get the tank and I just go fuck everything up. I'm supposed to go fight like the generals. All I do is just get in a tank, drive there, and just shoot shit and blow it up. But you can do that. That's the thing with the open world. You can approach every encounter differently, which I like. But I will say that it's starting to feel like I want more out of Halo. I want something, I don't know, I want something more epic. I feel like the epicness of Halo, those moments where you were playing it in the campaign and you got to this part, it was scripted, but it was epic. By not scripting things now and letting it be open and letting you approach things the way that you want, you kind of lose some of that epic Halo moment, or those moments that you're used to. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's great. It's a great Halo game. They did an amazing job. Blew me away beyond expectations. I didn't expect it to be this good, especially after the whole Craig situation. But, of course, there are things that would change. But I think the best case scenario happened. An 87 Metacritic Halo went down to 86. It's back up to 87. I think that's a fantastic, fantastic game and a fantastic score. And yes, it matters. Metacritic does matter. If you don't think it does, then you're an idiot. But I do like Halo a lot. I do find myself going back to it. Curiously, Forza Horizon 5 has dropped off my radar. I just do not want to play that game anymore. I don't know why. I'm just not excited about it at all. Maybe because Halo was so close to Forza and Forza was so close to Halo. I don't know what it is, but I'm not even seeing people talk about it anymore. I'm not even seeing it trending anywhere. I'm not seeing pictures of it. None of the people, when I go on Xbox, are playing it. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be like Sea of Thieves, where over time it just keeps adding and adding and adding. And I'm sure the DLC that they release for Forza Horizon 5 will be great. If it's anything like that the Hot Wheels expansion from Forza Horizon 4, I'm sure it'll be absolutely fantastic. But I like Halo a lot. I want to get back to it. I want to finish it. And believe it or not, I'm playing Days Gone on the PS5. And here's where I want to pivot into this whole graphics thing when it comes to HellBlade 2. A lot of people are looking at HellBlade 2 and they're jumping up and down because it looks graphically great. And I am too. But I'm saying to those people, where the fuck were you? Where have you been when you're talking about frame rate and resolution and Xbox One X and Xbox Series X teraflops? None of that shit matters. What matters is when you see something that blows you away. How many people watched the HellBlade 2 gameplay trailer and thought to themselves, I'm not going to have an emotional reaction to this at all because I don't know the resolution? Or, you know what? I cannot tell you if I like the way this looks because I don't know the frame rate. Those people are idiots. That's not what console gaming is all about. And this is what HellBlade 2 says to me about Microsoft. Sony kicked them in the ass. They got them started. They woke that sleeping giant. PlayStation has the best looking games every generation. PS1, the end of the PS1 generation looked like early end PS2 games. The end of the PS2 generation looked like early end PS3 games. The end of the PS3 generation looked like early gen. I said early gen PS4 games, and so on and so on. The end of PlayStation 4 generation, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, Horizon Forbidden West is still a PlayStation 4 game, and it looks like a this generation title, an early this generation title. Sony has consistently done that, and Microsoft has consistently sat back and watched. And HellBlade 2, as great as it looks, what it says to me is, yeah, we get it now. We get it. We can't just say we have a more powerful box. The original Xbox was more powerful. If you watch that, it's really good, by the way, the documentary series that's on the Xbox YouTube channel. I think it's 6 parts. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. A lot of insight into early Xbox and the mistakes. Man, they passed on Grand Theft Auto 3. They passed on it. They thought it wouldn't be good. Think about that for a second. They passed on Grand Theft Auto 3. Unbelievable. But I think that they've learned that you can't just put out a piece of paper that says 12 teraflops and people are going to buy your system, because nobody functions that way. Nobody looks at games and thinks, I'm not going to buy a PlayStation 5 because I don't know the resolution or frame rate of Ghost of Tsushima. Think about when they released the gameplay trailer for God of War in 2018. People watched that and they were floored, absolutely floored. Not one mention of resolution or frame rate. People watched the gameplay reveal of Ghost of Tsushima and they were floored. Not one mention of resolution or frame rate. People watched the gameplay reveal of Horizon Forbidden West and they were floored. Not one mention of resolution or frame rate. I'm getting excited. My nips are getting hard. Why? Why did it take this long for Microsoft to get it? But who cares? Why ask these questions? You know why? Because they got it. HellBlade 2 came out. They showed gameplay. And it fired a shot right across Sony's bow and said, yeah, you want the best looking games this generation? You're going to have to fucking work for it. Because right now, we're showing a game built from the ground up for this generation's systems. You haven't shown one yet built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5. But you've shown one built from the ground up for PlayStation 4. I have no idea. Somebody just sent me a message. I got to put these fucking readies on like I'm talking about. See what I mean? Major Sammy, Vark Tech, and Alice Newman. I have no idea who you are. You're probably bots. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Horizon Forbidden West, based in PS4 level tech, looks like an early end this generation title. And that's what Sony's consistently done. Microsoft now is saying, by the end of this generation, our first-party titles are going to look phenomenal, and PlayStation 5's first-party titles are going to look phenomenal. And those games are going to carry over to the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox Series XX, which I happen to love, by the way. That's what HellBlade 2 says to me. Microsoft gets it. They cannot just talk the talk. They've got to walk the walk, and HellBlade 2 does that. HellBlade 2 looks better than anything PlayStation right now has. However, Horizon Forbidden West is really close. It looks phenomenal. That's why Microsoft's doing this. They understand they have to have games that speak to the larger audience. You can't just say, hey, they've got Horizon Forbidden West, or they've got whatever they're coming out with this generation on the PlayStation 5 that absolutely looks incredible, but we've got teraflops, so buy us. Or, you know what, the internal scaler, the resolution is a little bit closer to 4K than that third-party game is on the PlayStation 5, so buy us. Or, you know what, there's a 4 frames per second difference on our system than the PlayStation 5. So buy us. You know what? I'm starting to lose my mind here. I don't know. I'm starting to lose my mind. I don't know why people don't understand this. This idea that games are somehow at the micro level good and at the macro level bad. What do I mean by that? I'm going to explain it to you. Because I am a fucking genius. Hold on a second. I got to look at myself in the mirror. Oh, my God. The hair, the teeth. Absolutely incredible. All right. Under the hood. Under the hood doesn't matter. You're not supposed to know what's going on under the hood. It's like the great and powerful Oz. He's behind the curtain. Leave him there. Just look at the image that you're looking at. Be blown away by it. Who cares about a 4 frames per second difference? If you're hyping up a 4 frames per second difference and a little bit closer to native 4K than the other guy, and that's the reason for buying a toy that's supposed to give you joy, then you're a moron. Period. Microsoft gets that now. Yeah, they're going to talk up teraflops. They're going to talk up marketing. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. All of it. It's all about the games. And they know that. And the reason they know that, hold on, excuse me. The reason they know that is because you just saw HellBlade 2. You can jump up and down all you want and talk about Xbox is the best box, period. Doesn't matter. They understand now what matters. And it's showing something that blows you away. Nobody, even the hardest of the hardcore dweeb Xbox fan, watched HellBlade 2. Nobody said, what's the resolution or what's the frame rate? And if they did, please, please, don't go near those people anymore. They're idiots. Absolutely idiots. Hold on, I gotta have a saltine. Yeah. It's all about what you're seeing. HellBlade 2 looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. Think about this. Think about Perfect Dark. What is that going to look like? Think about Fable. What is that going to look like? These games are being built from the ground up for the Series consoles. Now, whether or not the Series S holds back Microsoft, I don't know. It doesn't look like it is with HellBlade 2, does it? Think about playing HellBlade 2 for $299. That's fucking nuts. But it doesn't look like they're being held back at all. And it looks like their first party is going to be stellar. They might even win Game of the Year for graphics with some of these games. Think about an end of this generation where Sony does what Sony does. Their first party is absolutely incredible. But right next to it, going neck and neck, is Microsoft's first party on the Xbox. This is why I say that Microsoft finally woke the fuck up. When you're looking at Horizon Forbidden West, first off, I'm blown away that that runs on PS4. Come on now, you got to give it to them. You can't, even if you're an idiot and you love Xbox and you sleep with your Xbox, you got Phil Spencer posters everywhere, you got a YouTube channel dedicated to Xbox, that's fine. You can't look at that game and not scratch your head at how they're able to do that. And that's what's important, at least to me. When I buy a system, I want to know that they're going to utilize that system to the fullest. In 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they're going to squeeze that box so tight that the juice is going to spill out. And I'm going to just drink it all the way down to my plums. But that's what you need. Microsoft has never squeezed? I don't know. Whatever word I'm looking for. They've never really pushed their system to the brink. You never really got the impression that when you bought an Xbox on day one, in 5, 6, or 8 years, Microsoft first party was going to completely blow you away. They were going to completely utilize every single thing in that system and push it beyond its limitations for you. That is important. That goes a long way. PlayStation 4, they're still doing it with Horizon Forbidden West. They're still squeezing that system for their users. What happens when they start squeezing that PlayStation 5? Microsoft knows that. They woke up. They said to themselves, we need to get some kick-ass looking games. We need to stop talking about bullshit like resolution and frame rate and start putting our money where our mouth is. They need to just get it done, and they did. That's what HellBlade 2 said to me. That's what that demonstration said to me. All right? I'm going to eat a nut. Hold on. I'm eating walnuts, too. I'm talking, by the way. Saltiest Gamer says, hold on, I got to put my fucking reeds on again, man. God damn, I'm going blind. Yo. Man of many words. Saltiest Gaming says, been lurking. Good show. Listen. I may be the best there's ever been. Not only do I have amazing hair and teeth, but my muscular structure is incredible. My voice is creamy, steamy, and dreamy. And, I just have to share it with the world. So I figured, why not? And I forgot what the hell I was talking about. So, what was I talking about? HellBlade 2, yeah. I bought a PS4 because the PS3, even though the arrogance of that generation from Sony was ridiculous, when Uncharted came out, there was nothing on the Xbox 360 that looked like that. It blew me away. I said to myself, I wonder what comes next. Uncharted 2, then The Last of Us. They made a lot of great IPs in that generation. They came out of that generation with great IPs for the PS4 generation. Think about this. The only system, the only brand between PlayStation and Xbox that created new IPs just last generation, right? The PS4 and the Xbox One generation was PlayStation. They created they created Horizon, they created Ghost of Tsushima, they created Aloy and Jin Sakai, 2 new IPs, 2 new characters. They tried with Days Gone, which I think was great. I'm still playing it now. But they created 2 IPs that carry forward to this generation. They did that during the PS3 generation. They did it during the PS2 generation, and they did it during the PS1 generation. This is why I'm saying it's never been about resolution or frame rate. Those things may be important to you. They may be important to this really small group that you think is a large group on social media. But the rest of the people out there in the world who buy video games and play consoles, they look at something like God of War in 2018 and they say, what the fuck is that? How is that possible on my PlayStation? They look at things like HellBlade 2 and they don't ask. I keep saying it because I'm driving it home, because you MFers aren't going to get it unless I spit it to you. They say, how? How is HellBlade 2 running on this generation console? Look at that. I've never seen graphics like that before. Jeff Keighley looked more excited than if Hideo Kojima was under the stage looking up at him. Think about that one for a second. Jeff Keighley looked more excited about saying it was actual gameplay. He didn't care about the resolution or frame rate. Nobody did. You know who's going to care about that shit? Digital Foundry. And they'll say, well, there's a 4 frames per second difference between the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X version. So if you bought the Xbox Series X for $500, you kind of got your money's worth. It doesn't matter. Sony knows that. Sony talks a lot of bullshit too. They talk about 1080p makes you a better gamer. Bullshit. It was something that they didn't foresee that gave them an advantage. However, they didn't just stick with that. They created IP. Microsoft, I was afraid, and I'm wrong, but I was afraid when it comes to this generation with the Xbox Series X and S, they were going to stick with teraflops. We have more teraflops, that's all that matters. Because they did that with the original Xbox. It was more powerful than the PlayStation 2, much more powerful. The GameCube was more powerful than the PlayStation 2. But Microsoft just sort of, well, at the time, they were a newcomer. They didn't have a lot of leverage. But they really didn't push that system themselves. They really didn't do it. And even the 360, they didn't do it themselves. They relied on a lot of third parties. The Xbox One, Bob Barker and TV could have fucked that console and they would have loved it. But other than that, they finally have got their head out of their ass. And they're making games like HellBlade 2, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is a single-player adventure game. Now, holy shit, if they come out with some ridiculous tacked-on multiplayer-centric thing for HellBlade 2 just because they're Microsoft, I'm going to fucking jump off a cliff. I don't think they're going to do that, but they're making single-player games that look phenomenal. The ball is in Sony's court. Sony right now, I'm going to be crap gamer. You ready? Sony's in trouble. They're shivering. What is a girl to do? Fans are upset. I don't know if they could take it. That's going to be like the title of a video soon. But I do think that you can expect great IPs from Sony because they consistently do it. What's really exciting is that now they've got somebody with their foot on their neck saying, you think you can make good-looking games? Take a look at what we're doing. And imagine what that's going to do for Sony when they work specifically on the PlayStation 5 hardware. Think about that for a second. Man, hold on. My nips are getting hard when I think about that. I got to look at myself in the mirror again real quick, and I'm going to have a saltine. Oh, my God. Yeah. All right. So, I don't even know. Oh, by the way, I don't have a name for this podcast. I call it, hold on. I call it This Is a Podcast. It's original, I know. But if anyone listening to this, and by the way, I know I have thousands and thousands of listeners, so try and keep it to a minimum in the comment section. But if anybody has a name and I like it, leave it in the comment section. And if I choose it, I will send you a gift card for $50 hairs to Xbox or PlayStation over the internet. I'll give you the code or something like that. I don't want your home addresses. Fuck that. But so Halo turned out well. Forza Horizon 5, I'm just not interested in it anymore. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened to that title. I was excited about it. I played it, and then I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it just feels too similar to me. It's nothing's new anymore. Maybe the DLC, again, I talked about that earlier. Maybe the DLC will light a fire under my crotch, and I'll go crazy when it comes out like I did with the Hot Wheels expansion, which was phenomenal. I don't know. I just don't know. I like Halo a lot. I really think that Microsoft needs a haptic feedback controller. And I bring that up because they just released those new colors. The $55 plastic shells. I don't know, man. I just think it's ridiculous. Don't spend $55 for plastic. I don't know. But $5 more, $75 for a DualSense controller with all of the haptic feedback in there and nice creamy colors. Purple is my jam. I want that color. I want it. I want to sleep with it. I want to hold it at night and look at it, talk to it. How you doing? Come on over here. You like me? Shut the light out. Light a candle. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you like that candle? It's pumpkin scented. Yeah, Halloween time. All right, let's get back to, I don't know what happened there. I just lost it. I really feel like they need their own haptic feedback controller. And the reason I say that is, and this is where it's going to get a bit fanboyish, but the rumble in the Xbox Series X and S controller, it just sucks. The motors just feel cheap. The whole controller vibrates. It makes a weird noise, like a plasticky sound. The motors in the PlayStation 5 controller are so spot on. It's eerie. Even games that don't take advantage of haptic feedback and just give you rumble, a million times better. I don't know what went on, but they definitely need to update that controller. They have to update it. Once you have haptic feedback, you don't go back. It's like, seeing posters of me or pictures of me. Once you've seen them, you cannot settle for anything else. That's how amazing I look. Same thing with haptic feedback, by the way. Hold on, I gotta eat another saltine. You want to hear how exciting my night is? This is what I'm looking forward to after this podcast. Taking a nap, waking up, and having chicken noodle soup and a fucking egg salad sandwich. What a life. Are you kidding? Think about that for a second. So, I'll be off. I could stay up late. I can play video games. Chicken noodle soup and an egg salad sandwich, baby. My life is fucking on fire. So what do we talk about? I think we talked for like 20-something minutes now. 28 minutes. Why people shouldn't have superpowers. No human being should have superpowers because I wanted every Volvo on the planet to explode. Just because of this one driver who wouldn't get the fuck out of my way. I thought every Volvo on Earth should explode. If I had superpowers and I could do that, think about all the Volvos that would be exploding right now. It's irresponsible. So, no human being should have superpowers. I have no idea where these topics came from. I really don't. But if I try and be professional with this, I don't have fun. I don't like being in groups. I don't like being part of communities. It just doesn't make sense to me because, I'm so creamy and steamy and dreamy. And I don't like the tomfoolery. Keep that tomfoolery away from me. I just don't like it. I'm too good to be got. I'm too bad to be. I don't know why. I was trying to come up with something cool there to say, but I completely fucked it up. What I like to do is go online and type Xbox News, because this is what you're supposed to do before a podcast. But I think that I don't like that. I just like looking. It says a year later, it still sucks getting a PS5 or an Xbox Series S. You know what? I'm going to give you my opinion on this. I'm past this whole chip shortage thing. If these companies wanted to get these products out there, they could have spent money. They got to spend money to get these chips. They don't want to spend more money for shipping. They just want to wait. It's a disgrace. It is a fucking disgrace for PlayStation, for Sony, for Xbox and Microsoft. A year later, For nobody to be able to walk into a store and buy an Xbox or a PlayStation is a fucking disgrace. Think about it. It's going to be 2022. It'll be the middle of 2022, and we'll still have these asshats charging $1,500 for Xboxes or PlayStations. And you got people who are going to buy it. You have to be out of your mind to give somebody $1,200 to $1,500 for a $500 MSRP product. There's got to be something wrong with you. And I get it, man. And parents, they look at them kids. I want a PlayStation from Santa. Santa hates me. Why does Santa hate me? And then you got to tell your kid, there is no Santa Claus. Get the fuck to bed. Seriously. Don't spend $1,200 for a PlayStation or an Xbox. You're out of your mind. You can get an Xbox Series S right now. This is what I don't get. This is going to drive me nuts too. They can manufacture Xbox Series S's to the point where they're available, right? They're both using the same RDNA 2 architecture. How is it possible that you're able to make more of one and not the other? Now, I read an article that hinted at the fact that as soon as Xbox Series X's are manufactured, a lot of them are being sent to those server blades for Microsoft for that cloud gaming bullshit. If that's true, and there are more systems there than in stores and supply chains for people to buy, Microsoft should be tarred and feathered. Tarred and feathered! I don't know if that's true. I just read that. But sometimes I like to think negatively about Microsoft because, I don't know, they're the only company in the world that got taken to court by the entirety of the United States. What did I cover? Halo, I love. I actually do love it. I think they did a great job. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised by it. They need more of that, though, obviously. I'm still not sold on Game Pass, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just not sold on it. I want great content. Halo's great, but I need more of it because I just don't know. I don't want to be perpetually subscribed to something. Something else I thought about. I was just reminded by that when we talked about Game Pass. People are complaining about the $70 price hike. Square Enix is now charging $70 for PlayStation games. What if all of these corporations, they really want you in these subscription services? They know they want you. They want you perpetually spending money versus just putting out $60 or $70 one time. What if all of them decided, you know what, let's just piss off consumers. Maybe we'll drive more people to subscription services if we just raise our prices a bit. Now they're $70. Pissed off? Go subscribe to the service. Now we've got you forever. Even though you think you're saving money, you're really paying $120 a year for the privilege of playing Halo. Not $60 for the privilege of paying for it once and playing it. You're paying $120 a year for the privilege of playing maybe the 4 or 5 games that you like playing. In addition to trying out other games that you would never try. Listen, there are things I would never try, and I'm not going to try them just because they're available to me. Like, you know what I'm talking about. It's not going to happen. So maybe they did that. Maybe they're raising these prices because they want to push consumers to services. It's possible. I don't know if it's true. It's a conspiracy theory, and I just made it up. So we covered Halo. I like it. HellBlade 2, it's a reaction and a great reaction to stellar Sony first-party titles. Can't wait to play that game. I can't wait to see Fable now. I'm more excited for Fable than I've ever been after seeing the graphics in-game for HellBlade 2. And we talked about why no human being should have superpowers, because I want the entirety of the earth to explode. I hate everything. So I'm coming up on 33 minutes, which is pretty good for a one-man band. I'm just that good. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll read them at some point in time. And other than that, I need to get this Discord thing together to figure out how to actually put video up on the screen when I'm talking. And eventually, trust me, people, eventually I will appear on camera. And then it's going to be so creamy and steamy and dreamy. Trust me, you people are going to drop when you see the gorgeousness that is the Worrywart. I'm leaving you with this. I'm trying to think of something cool to say, but I can't. So, fuck it. Thanks for watching. Share this video out on your favorite social media platform of choice. Maybe subscribe to the channel. At the very least, hit that like button. It'll help me grow the channel. I wrote that. It rolls off the tongue really well. Thanks for watching. I had a a celebrity YouTuber, Saltiest Gaming, stop in here and say, yo, and been lurking, good show. A man of many words. A thesaurus, if you will. And I will see you in the next podcast. Hopefully it's a little bit longer than 35 minutes, but I want to go to sleep, and I'm really jonesing for that chicken noodle soup and that egg salad sandwich. And then I'll be up tonight streaming on my Twitch channel, maybe Days Gone, maybe some Halo. Go over to Warrior Work Gaming on Twitch and subscribe, because I'm very shallow and I need people to subscribe to me to make me feel like a cool human being. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Yeah, light the candle.